So Reina means queen in Spanish. So I am Mwindi Kimanzi's queen.
You start with me? I'm going to start with me. So,
my Mavuno Waiyaki Way experience has been awesome, fruitful, fantastic.
hi everyone, my name is Kelvin Mogambi. I'm the lead pastor of Mavuno Church Waiyaki Way, and I co-lead with this lovely woman.
Hi, my name is Charity. Pastor Kelvin is my husband, and together we lead Mavuno Waiyaki Way.
Mavuno Waiyaki Way started in Feb 2021. On the day when we left Mavuno Downtown, because Mavuno Downtown is our sending church with the church leadership of Mavuno Downtown, and we took them to Church Guest House, which was our first venue. Their spirits were at peace. They were like, what stops you from starting your church here?
We were looking for venues. Myself, Pastor Mugambi, a member, a friend of Pastor Mugambi's, and a gentleman called George and Kevin Kanyoto. We just drove around. What are possible areas to look at? And then I remember we reached Church Guest House, and everybody seemed to like it. It was ready. It was ready for a church literally the next Sunday. And we were challenged, why don't you start here? And the first lockdown had just been ended, and people were starting to move back to church. And you're like, why not start next week, or next week part one? And somebody right there said, I'm putting down money for your first rent. Somebody else took money for the second month. I was like, oh my goodness, this is how churches are planted.
We had done church for just a month, and then the COVID cases were spiking, and we felt led that we can no longer do in-person services. And just around the time that we were thinking about how we could move from in-person to online services, another lockdown happened.
And we did a survey, and we found that most of the congregation was coming from the Kikuyu, Muthiga, Keno area. I remember at that time, even going to a senior pastor and telling him how we are not growing. And that's how we moved to Miramar International College. We have seen so much life change.
I'm planted at Mavuno Waiyaki Way, and I serve in Mavuno Waiyaki Way. After the services, normally if you have a prayer request, send what. So we sent, and then of course they ask you which church do you go to. So us guys wrote the one that we wrote Waiyaki Way because we used to watch their online service. So Pastor Mugambi called us, and he called us on a Thursday or a Wednesday, I can't remember. He prayed with us, and then the next day I had my contractions. Then it became an emergency CS, and then he was the first person we called to pray with us because of the situation and where we were at. And to my shock, he actually came to Kijabi Hospital to see us. I still have that photo of him beside the hospital bed. He really checked up on us, wanted to know how are we doing. We became a prayer item, so we had an army of people praying for us, yet they were strangers.
We started a youth church that is reaching out to the youth in the streets. And some of these kids have been skipping schools for a whole semester, a whole term. And now they have committed to go to school every day, and they come and tell us they're in school. Many have gotten saved over here. We've seen marriages being restored.
Aya, mko tayari? Get ready, one.
Remember it very well. It was on a Friday, and I was invited for a games night. I never knew who Campus Trend was. I had never heard of Mavuno Church. So on this day, when there are vibrant games here and there for the whole night, and I was like, what did you guys say? Which team is this? They were like, oh, welcome to Campus Trend. We are from Mavuno Waiyaki Way. And I was like, okay, I'll pay you a visit. And since I paid a visit, guess I've been the visitor who never left. And we came up with a program known as Jeilewe, which is held every month. The goal of Jeilewe is to let the young people know their identity. That's one. As you can hear from the word Jeilewe, is identity. Know who you are. So I've been taking part in their classes, leading games with them, sharing stories of where I've come from and all that. And with time, we have earned their trust, and they are open. and they are yearning when the next Jeilewe meeting will be held.
We were sent from Mavuno downtown as just to go and plant one church. And today we are 3 campuses that have come out from that season when we were planted. So we have Mavuno Waiyaki Way that's here at Miramar International College in Muthiga. We have Mavuno Waiyaki Way Swahili, which is in Waroko, just behind Chuck Guest House. And then we have Mavuno Zion City, which ministers in the area of Zambezi, Kikuyu. So from 1 campus to 3 campuses.
Each time I listened to Pastor M, I listened to Pastor Mugambi, I listened to Pastor Kilonzi, I would draw that much closer to understanding what church planting meant. Until then, it was just bringing this community of people together and celebrating God, having service every Sunday. And it began to dawn on me, what would it look like to be a pastor? One of the things that drives me, or one of the things I believe is my purpose, is helping people increase the value they provide to their society.
Discovery is a program in Mavuno. It helps you see ministry in a wider perspective, and besides that, it helps you as an individual to grow, most especially in your personal discipline, and also in you being the person you're meant to be. Just like the name goes discovery, it helps you discover who you are, the things that are inside you, the gifts inside you. I've discovered that I am a silent leader. I was ish about even youth ministry as an introvert, but I've succeeded anyway, even in my quietness. So it doesn't matter your personality.
As we celebrate being 3 years, one thing that I'd love to say to you is that, one, we're really excited by your presence here. It's such a blessing that you are part of this Mavuno Waiyaki Way family, that you are part of this community, and we are really confident in the plan that God has for your lives.
We have not even barely scratched the amazing impact that God wants us to have.
Keep yourself planted, stand firm in this place, plug in, serve, and you will be surprised what God will do for you.
There are so many things I see for us as we turn 3, and I totally trust God that He is with us, and what we have entrusted to Him, our hopes and dreams, He's faithful enough to lead them to completion.